a curious but very credible internet document called the Mardi Gras Secrets states that Illuminati agents poisoned and killed Presidents William Henry Harrison and Zachary Taylor. They also poisoned James Buchanan in 1857, but he survived. All three were obstructing Illuminati House of Rothschild plans for the U.S. Civil War, 1860 to 1865. The document also describes the Illuminati role in the murders of Abraham Lincoln, 1865, and Senator Huey Long, 1935. We know they also killed Presidents Garfield, 1881, McKinley, 1901, and Kennedy, 1963, and probably Warren Harding, 1923, and possibly FDR, 1944. The Mardi Gras Secrets website was created in December 2005 by Mimi L. Eustace, the daughter of Samuel Todd Churchill, a high-level member of the secret New Orleans Mardi Gras Society called the Mystic Crew of Comus. This society, which reorganized the Mardi Gras festivities in 1857, was a chapter of the Skull and Bones. It began as a front for the activities of Masons Albert Pike, Judah Benjamin, and John Slidell, who became leaders of the Confederacy. This information is based on Samuel Churchill's deathbed confessions when he was dying of lung cancer. Mrs. Eustace later decided to make them public after she also contracted the terminal disease. The Illuminati ringleader was Caleb Cushing, 1800 to 1879, the partner of William Russell, the opium smuggler, who founded the Yale Skull and Bone Society in 1832. In order to rise in the society, one had to participate in a killing of the king rite of passage. According to Eustace, the Skull and Bones, or Brotherhood of Death, is nothing more than a political assassination hit team against those United States politicians who do not fall in line with the House of Rothschild's plans for a blood elitist domination and control over the world's economy. For example, Caleb Cushing was involved in the arsenic poisoning deaths of United States presidents William Henry Harrison on April 4, 1841, and Zachary Taylor on July 9, 1850. These two presidents had opposed admitting Texas and California as slave states. William Henry Harrison was the first president ever to die in office, serving only 31 days. According to Wikipedia, he died of pneumonia. On July 3, 1850, Zachary Taylor threatened to hang those taken in rebellion against the Union. The next day, the president fell ill, vomited blackish material, and died July 9. Kentucky authorities recently dug up Taylor's body, looking for evidence of arsenic poisoning. Before I continue the video, please smash that like button for me. Thank you. I paraphrase Mrs. Eustace. During the Civil War, from 1861 to 1865, President Lincoln needed money to finance the war. The loan shark bankers wanted 24% to 36% interest. Instead, Lincoln got Congress to authorize the printing of $450 million worth of greenbacks debt and interest-free money. It served as legal tender for all debts, public and private. The House of Rothschild recognized that sovereign governments printing interest-free and debt-free paper money would break their power. Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes Booth, was a member of Pike's Knights of the Golden Circle. He was in New Orleans during the winter of 1863 to 1864 and conspired with Pike, Benjamin, Slidell, and Admiral G.W. Baird to assassinate Lincoln. Baird later identified the body of Captain James William Boyd as Booth. Boyd was, in fact, a Confederate spy who resembled Booth and was used as a patsy. His body was dumped into an Arsenal prison sinkhole used to dump dead horses. Eustace says her father emphasized that most Masons below the third degree were good hardworking people. The Illuminati Skull and Bones used the Masons as a disguise. Those who rose past the 33-degree level did so by participating in the killing of the king ritual. The lower levels did as they were told, without realizing their part in the killing of the king. For assassinating Abraham Lincoln, Pike, Benjamin, Slidell, and August Belmont, or Rothschild's northern agent, were made secret kings of the Mystic Crew of Comus. Andrew Johnson, vice president, became president and pardoned Albert Pike. Albert Pike awarded Andrew Johnson the 33rd degree rite of passage. Eustace writes, doctors were an essential part of the Illuminati plan to kill U.S. political leaders who hindered the takeover of the U.S. Republic by the international banking elite. Illuminati doctors eventually did in both U.S. President William Henry Harrison and Zachary Taylor. They also played a death role in the shooting assassinations of U.S. Presidents Abraham Lincoln on April 14, 1865, died April 15, 1865, James Garfield on July 2, 1881, died September 19, 1881, and William McKinley Jr. on September 6, 1901, died September 14, 1901. Teddy Roosevelt became president after William McKinley was shot. Roosevelt received passage into the 33rd degree and became a secret king of the mystic crew of Comus. During his presidency, the Skull and Bones became firmly entrenched and controlled the U.S. Republic. Huey Long, Kingfish, was a populist who mounted a powerful challenge to FDR from his power base as governor of Louisiana and later as U.S. Senator. Unlike FDR, he was not a Mason and not a shill for the bankers. His Share Our Wealth program represented a genuine threat to the Illuminati. An Illuminati member, Dr. Carl Austin Weiss, shot Huey Long on September 8, 1935, and Dr. Arthur Vidrine ensured that Huey Long did not recover. According to Eustace, Weiss was supposed to hit Huey Long in the face, and Huey Long's bodyguard, Murphy Roden, was supposed to shoot both Weiss and Huey Long. This may indeed be what happened. Roden was a spy for J. Edgar Hoover. Roden pumped 60 bullets into Weiss' body. Dr. Weiss was told his baby would be killed if he reneged on the mission. Both FDR and J. Edgar Hoover won their 33-degree rite of passage for their participation in this murder. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was made king of Comus in 1937. When J. Edgar Hoover came down to New Orleans to act out his reign as king of Comus, he was involved in a sexual revelry of homosexuality and cross-dressing with various elitist bloodline members of the mystic crew of Comus. Agents of Skull and Bones, with blessing and involvement of J. Edgar Hoover, FBI director and 33rd-level executioner cover-up specialist for the elitist bloodline of the House of Rothschild, murdered Freemason Charles Lindbergh's son. This killing of Freemason Charles Lindbergh's son was to set an example that the isolationist stand was not the will of the Illuminati. Mrs. Eustace doesn't touch upon the poisoning death of President Warren Harding, but this is how Wikipedia describes it. At the end of July, while traveling south from Alaska through British Columbia, Harding developed what was thought to be a severe case of food poisoning. At the Palace Hotel in San Francisco, he developed pneumonia. Harding died of either a heart attack or a stroke at 7:35 p.m. on August 2, 1923, at the age of 57. The formal announcement, printed in the New York Times of that day, stated that a stroke of apoplexy was the cause of death. He had been ill exactly 1 week. For FDR, see Emanuel Josephson, The Strange Death of Franklin D. Roosevelt, 1948. The Mardi Gras secret suggests that, given the depth of corruption, the U.S. political system cannot be taken seriously as a democracy. There is a pattern of Illuminati Rothschild control throughout U.S. history. People who deny this are living in a fantasy. The United States was created to advance the Illuminati New World Order based on Rothschild monopoly on government credit worldwide. American ideals were designed to dupe the masses, not to be realized. The founders and heroes of the U.S. were mostly Masons, including Paul Revere, John Paul Jones, and Benjamin Franklin. Francis Scott Key, who wrote the national anthem, was a Mason. John Hancock and most of the signatories of the Declaration of Independence were also Masons. More than half the presidents were Masons. These include Washington, Madison, Adams, Jefferson, Monroe, Jackson, Van Buren, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Pierce, Buchanan, Johnson, Garfield, McKinley, T.R., Taft, Harding, FDR, Truman, LBJ, Ford, Reagan, Clinton, Bush 1 and 2, Obama, and Trump. Some of these really thought Masonry was about making good men better and had to be assassinated. Other presidents who weren't Masons, like Eisenhower, Nixon, and Carter, were still controlled by the same dark forces. Throughout its history, the United States has been in the clutches of a satanic cult, Freemasonry, which serves the Rothschild central banking cartel. Many courageous presidents and other politicians tried to free their countrymen from this bondage and died unrecognized, their killers unpunished and triumphant. The U.S. is a nation decapitated, a headless giant, led by demons. Comment below with more topic ideas for me to discuss. As a lot of care and hard work goes into this, likes and subscribe, let me know I'm doing a good job. All is appreciated greatly. You may not agree with everything from the content I post. Apply critical thinking and use discernment to come to your own conclusions regarding the content. Thanks for watching this video. This Everything Inside Me channel, see you on the next video. Stay safe and healthy.